Hi there, welcome to already part 5 of the Marslander animation tutorial, and today we're going to focus on the detailing of the mid part, and I'm going to show you two ways how to do it. And the first way is going to be the difficult way, and the second way is the easy way. So what I want to do is create a ring of extrusions around this cylinder, and yeah, I'm gonna do it the hard way first. So first switch off all modifiers, so we have this. And what I want to do is I want to extrude some circles every other quad. And I'm going to show you first the hard way. So let's go into face mode and just select this one. And I'm going to subdivide it one time. And now I'm going to remove these faces, so X faces. So as you can see now, we have a couple of extra verts over here. If I now select them all, then I can use loop tools, just free add-on built into Blender. So if you want to enable it, just go to Preferences, Add-ons, type in loop tools and just tick it off and you have it available. If you now select a couple of verts and you press the right mouse key, you can choose loop tools and choose circle. Now it tries to create a circle from all the verts you selected. So if I would have had 15 verts, it would have created a much smoother circle. But now we only have 8, so it will create this. So now I can scale it a bit. Then I can fill it. Now I'm going into face, select, extrude it on the y-axis, scale it a bit. And now this is something I would like to have all around this. But if I enable it, all the modifiers, you can already see that you have some shading issues. Maybe go to matte cap, then you can see it a bit better. You can see over here it has some weird shading. And why is that? Because if you go back into edit mode, you can see we used to have a nice topology, but now it's a bit messed up. We have Addons and we have a couple of quads, but they're still there. Yeah, they don't have a nice flow. So what you have to do, go into vert mode and select this vert, and with the knife tool, K, connect this one, connect this one, this. And now you also have these ones, so constrain them with C, and this is just to support the cylinder we just extruded. And now we have some extra edges which we can just remove. So select these and we can just do Ctrl X on them, and we don't need these as well. So this looks a bit cleaner. If we now go into switch on all modifiers, you can see the shading already looks much better. And although this works good, it's still a lot of manual work, and I don't want to do that. So that's why I chose to do it in a different way. And that's what I'm going to show you now. Okay, so now the easy way. So go into edit mode, switch off all modifiers, and then select, for instance, this line. Then what I'm going to do to make it look more nice, I'm going to do an inset. And something like this. And I'm going to do an extrude on the y-axis. And I'm going to scale it on the z. And this is where I'm going to put my extrusions on. So I'm going to create a support loop in the middle, then go into vert mode, and I have all of them selected except these ones, to make sure the first one is the active one. Then go into select, checker deselect. Now you can see it, it skips every one vertex, so we have a nice flow. Then what I'm going to do is press Q and use circle in hard ops. What I now can do, I can create is just a quad, which is basically a circle with 4 vertices, or I can scroll my mouse wheel to add more vertices, but I kind of like the one with 4, and as you can see, it creates it in a way that we would like to have it being created instead of doing it manually. So if I now go into face mode, extrude it on the Y, scale it a bit, again make sure you have individual origins selected, then enable matcap, and as you can see, we have no issues. There's just one thing, that's this line around here, but that's because when we did the extrusion, we didn't remove these faces. So if I remove these faces and switch everything on, then we have a nice row of details around this, the mid part. So this is the first part. So I'm also going to add in something like the same on the top. Again, we might have to look out for this this line, because if I switch on all modifiers, you can see this has an influence until here. So yeah, we might have to do it something like around here. Then extrude it on the Y, scale it on the Z. Don't forget to remove this face. Then what I'm going to do, add an edge loop around here. Select these ones, make sure the active one is the one on the outer side. Select, checker deselect, Q, circle. I think this is the same size. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's okay. No, it's not a big problem. Go into face mode, extrude on the Y, and I'm gonna scale it. And we're done. I think this adds some nice detail to the mid part. So next I'm going to add in something in the middle around here. I'm first going to switch off matcap, because it's nice if you want to check for weird shading, but now we're just modeling, so I'm going to switch back to studio. Then I'm going to switch off all modifiers, go into edit mode, and just do some random selection of some faces. I don't know exactly what I'm going to create, but we'll find it out later. think something like this, and do the same over here. We could use a mirror, but we also have the keypad in the middle, which is not symmetrical, so we're not going to do it. We could, but it's not a big work, a lot of work, so I'll just keep it like this and do an extrusion on the y-axis and GY, maybe set it a little bit back. Then make sure you're in medium point and scale it on the z-axis. And what I'm also going to do is with these selected, and I'm going to do the same over here. I'm going to scale it on the x-axis, scale on the x. So let's put it on, and as you can see we have this weird line going through the middle, and we can fix it by removing the interior faces, because now these faces, they make sure they prevent it from being welded nicely to each other. So if we remove these faces, then you can see the line is gone. This still looks like crap, but we're just gonna add some bevels to it, and then I think it will look much nicer. We'll just see. So I'm going into edge mode, and I'm just going to select these edges and Ctrl B, maybe 3 segments. I think that'll do. If I now turn it on, yeah, I think it's starting to get somewhere. I think maybe we can add some handles around here in the end to finish it off and do some random extrusions in it, but yeah, I think it's okay for now. So the last thing I want to do for this lecture is add in another bevel modifier, because now you can see we have a bevel modifier around here, which is for the curvature of the edge around here and on the bottom, but we also want to have a bevel on the keypad and on these edges as well. So what I'm going to do is add in a bevel. We can do it by Q and then by control clicking bevel in hard ops, or add in the modifier bevel around here. We have to switch it to angle, and you can already see it is affecting the right parts already. We'll just have to crank up the segments. I think 3 is okay, and it already, yeah, looks nice. So I don't think we have to do much about it. It could be that you are seeing some weird results after adding a bevel where you already have another bevel. Then try switching them around, because order does matter in the modifier list. So now it's okay, and we could do one more thing, is check harden normals. You can see it fixes it a bit, so you can either check harden normals or add in a weighted normal modifier. It does almost exactly the same thing, except you have some extra you have some extra features to make it more or less affected. Maybe often, mostly between 50 and 100 is okay. I'm just gonna leave it at 50. So I think this is nice for this lecture, and I'm going to keep it this way. Next part, we're going to add in the top on there. And yeah, thanks for watching, and see you next time.